Hello and welcome to Capricorn Makes. I'm Stacy, and in this video I'm going to be giving an update on what happened in my last video with my doll head, some general doll plans, what I've been working on in the last couple of days, and some other things, some thoughts. We'll see where things go. I have Idaris with me today, who is on the 40 centimeter, 41 centimeter, however tall they are, mirror doll body. She is the head that I sculpted out of paper clay. She had a photo shoot yesterday, I think it was, and I wrote a little snippet of story for her. So she is all dressed up, and yeah, I actually found this dress on a porcelain doll at the thrift store, and of course I got it, and poor doll, I'm not sure what happened to it. And then I have this little handkerchief, and I'm using one of the little cameos that I cut down. So it's an earring, but I cut the post down, and then I'm using a silicone earring back so that it is more appropriate for a pin rather than for like an earring. So it's not too long, and it actually wants to sit flat up against the body, which I think is a really great use for like single earrings that have gone missing, or anything that is like those cute earrings, but they can actually function as like doll pins and things like that. But just cutting the post back, as long as you're careful not to that the point isn't too sharp, you can grind that down or clip that down a little bit so it's not quite so sharp, because it will shred your fabrics otherwise. But yes, so an update on the head. So immediately after I finished my unboxing video, I contacted the seller, and it did not take them long at all to get back with me, because where they are at are not very many hours away from where I'm at. We ended up having a fairly real-time conversation, and in just a few minutes we had a situation hashed out that worked. So I sent the head back, and they paid for it, which is what should have happened. And a new head is being casted for me. So the everything is just going to be fine. It's going to be sent out. It is now looking like it could be coming during the time that I'm away in February. But the company knows about this, and they said they'll hold it for me so that it doesn't come while I'm away. We will have a house sitter, because we've got pets and things like that. This just ensures that if there are any problems with shipping, or we have to go down and do anything special with it, that I'll actually be here to take care of that, because I'll be away for 2 weeks. So I mean, it could come sooner. Like if it came on the same schedule, that the original head came, like it could be here like the middle of January. But likely it will probably be here, or it will probably get sent out while it'll probably be ready like while I'm away in February. So we're sort of looking at a March deadline, which was what I was looking at waiting for anyway. The company has been really professional to deal with, really, really nice, and it's actually two different companies squished together. So it's a Universal head, but I am pretty sure that the person who does all of the administrative work is actually Musen Dolls, and that is the person who runs the Wood Forest Doll shop on Etsy, who is like the direct seller for Universal and Musen Dolls, and who I bought the head from. So like I'm dealing with, you know, the company, just not the sculptor. Like I'm pretty sure that that person is under the Musen name, and I am way more sure about this than I sound right now. I'm still just trying to collect my thoughts. That's okay. But anyway, like as a company, like I've had a couple people comment to me that, oh, they should let you keep the head as compensation, la la la. This is a small company. It's so small, they have two companies smushed together, and I find both of them to be incredibly inventive sculptors, and my being able to send the head back so that they're not losing the overhead on the entire head, just whatever they're out shipping, and the extra, you know, the extra casting cost and all of that, it allows them to have way less of a hit. And because of how professional the whole exchange has been so far, I am absolutely confident that I would still order from this company in the future, either one of them, through Wood Forest Dolls directly, or through any of the other ways that you can get a hold of their products. They do have a couple of dealers. You can get them on Taobao. Like I am currently, like obviously I don't have a head here yet, so my opinion may change in the future, but right now, being able to send the head back is sort of a show of support for the artist. It's not like something that I feel like I need for compensation's sake anyway, because the head arrived to me at the very, very earliest in their 3-month spread of potential. Oh my goodness, my camera is going crazy. I don't remember where I was at because I had to get up and completely take the camera apart and put it back together. But yes, so far everything is going as well as it can be expected, and we'll just have to wait and see how things go. So other disappointing doll plan setbacks are that the head that I wanted to order for my SD girl, which is a Charm Doll Jianli, which is a 71 centimeter male head that actually has quite a small neck, they have stopped, as of a couple of weeks ago, selling just their heads separately. Which means if I want her, and I do, I have to buy the whole doll. Now, I know I can do a split, but it's going to be looking at like an international split, most likely, because I mean, like I can ask around here in the community to see if there's anybody in New Zealand that might just happen to see my posts who might want a Charm Doll 71 centimeter boy body with a smallish neck. But the likelihood of that is probably pretty slim, and I really don't have a use for that particular body. It's not that it's a poor body. It looks nice. It seems to pose okay, I think. I haven't done very much research on it because I didn't think I was going to be getting one. And I was just like, oh my gosh, because that means now I'm going to have to buy like a girl body and like a full boy body in order to get this doll that I want, which just makes it really expensive. And yes, I can sell on the body. I can do something to mitigate that cost. But I was really kind of balking at this, and this is in the wake of my actually deciding that yes, that was the head that I wanted, because I had 3 different heads that I was looking at. And I was kind of holding my breath trying to see, I was waiting for the release of the Black Cherry Dolls iShat open-eyed version because I knew it was coming, and I have been stalking their page for several months now since they announced it and did sort of the preview pictures. But it came out and I don't actually like the eye shape, which means I would have to mod it anyway. And I do like that, but a couple of things have happened with their story that has sort of crystallized my idea of what I want her to look like. A couple other things have changed with that story, including potentially Thasian's name. Because, so after he got here and I saw pretty much what he's going to look like on the body, I was able to get so when I had sort of put this concept together, it was very loose because I wanted to make room for the doll and like able to sort of give space for the doll to sort of tell me things about the story that wants telling. So there were a lot of things that I did not solidify really. And like I said, the name came to me sort of like as I was sitting there with the doll body. But with the head on the body, I have mentioned before in private conversations that this particular body has a very different personality than the character itself. Like the body itself is kind of playful. It has a lot more presence. Presence is possibly the wrong word. The character with his head on is very quiet and very reserved and very... I hesitate to use the word passive because that's not what he is. I mean, it kind of is. I'm having one of those moments where I'm like, how deep do I go down the rabbit hole? Right now, suffice to say that the name is probably staying for the original concept that I had, but the expression of like how I'm using it for this character has changed sufficiently that he needs like a proper normal sounding name, which is probably for ease of discussion going to be his actual real name. Have I decided what that's going to be yet? No, absolutely not. I'm trying on names right now. I'll probably not pick something specific until the head is actually here and I can kind of see them all put together. But yeah, so there will be a name change. Don't know what it is yet. That's okay. But as part of all of that, the whole entire story has absolutely exploded. As their story has expanded, I have actually gotten really excited and have a really sort of crystal clear idea of where I want to take these dolls, and I'm so excited. And one of the things that I want to do in the new year is to figure out what format I would like to share my stories with you guys. I would like to, because I would very much like to share. I have a lot of fun ideas, and you know, part of putting these things together is the telling of that, and so I'm really looking forward to being able to share that with you. Although I kind of want to wait on telling too much of his story until he gets here and is together. Though I may change my mind, because it might take me some time to get him put together. So if I wait the 4 months that it might take for me to get him put together, that's a lot of time of me not talking about him, and I don't think I'll do that. So I might reevaluate that as things go by. But all is not doom and gloom on the doll front. So I have a surprise head coming in. It was a surprise to me, not because somebody got it for me. I bought it myself, but it was a tight thing. I had basically already spent my allotted spending money, and then I had a question that was open. I'm keeping all of this a secret until it arrives, because it has shipped and it should be here maybe by the end of the week, maybe beginning of next week. So I will have a video with the head, hopefully not with any problems, fingers crossed, because I really, really want this to come in. And so I will have a holiday head after all, which is very, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. But I'm gonna wait until then to sort of share all of my grand plans. So if I talk about it now, I won't have anything to talk about in the next video. So we'll just leave that at that. But yes, so I do have a super secret kind of doll head coming in that should be here very soon, which I'm very excited about. And this was completely unplanned, like not a sculpt I had really been looking at, one I had seen around and gone, oh yeah, that's pretty interesting, don't know what I would ever do with it. Oh boy, did I find something to do with it. Like, you know, these things just sort of serendipitously pop right in there, and I really hope I'm not going to eat my words on this, because if something happens to this head in the post, which is the only thing that could possibly happen at this point because it's in immaculate condition, but yeah, if something happens to this head, I will just be crushed, and I promise I'll film it so that you guys can see me being crushed on film, because I know that stuff's entertaining. Anyway, so I have been working on some stuff. Not a ton. My machine, like, all of my, I try and do regular maintenance on all of my equipment, but like I was having some major tension issues with my machine, and it was just kind of eating all of my fabric, and that was not very good. Can I find the other piece? So like it just, my sewing machine was not working and not working and not working. And then it spit out. I'm not sure if you can see, if I hold it up really close, but you can see like the general size. Like it spit this thing out of a hole that is probably less than a quarter of this size. I was like, Well, okay then. Pretty sure that wasn't supposed to be there. Glad it's not there anymore. But then directly after that, it spit this out too. I was like, well, no wonder you haven't been working particularly well. Now, I actually have a can of canned air. Yeah, I have a can here to help keep everything free when I dust, and I go in there and I have little brushes, and I try and keep things fairly clear. But I think after my big commission, I probably should have gone over it right away, because like clearly it had a little bit of buildup, and wow, is it sewing so much better. I have been testing a pattern, not just a pattern, but a pattern formula for making sewn wig caps. Now I'm sure there's probably stuff out there, but I'm looking at doing some tutorials in the new year, because I think that would be fun, you guys. And I think the first one is going to be a swimmer style sewn head cap for any normalish head. So it's basically using your doll's head circumference to make a head cap. So it, like, they fit really well. I've got to sort of iterate this a couple more times just to make sure that it fits on all of my doll head sizes that I have here. I'm going to test it on something as small as, I've got a Monster High, so that's pretty small. And I will test it, I probably could test it on one of the Blythes to see if it actually works for that size as well. Although it can't take their hair off very easily, so, you know, we'll see how well that works. But I'm pretty confident in my formula so far. I just need to make some more test runs of it before I'm ready to share. But it is just going to be one of those, you put like the number in and then you just fill out everything and then you draw it up and cut it. Because my plan is to make a whole bunch of these up, and this is blue, by the way, not only because it was my test fabric, but because the wig that I am going to be putting stuff on is the same sort of super bright blue. And so I thought this would be pretty fine for a wig cap for it. Because I used a wig cap for my Try Redo wig out of this stuff, and I loved it. I loved working with it. There was no bulk around the edges. Like, I'd be able to take this and I could sew wefts to it. I can, like, I could use this, you know, with the saran over her and then latex it or glue it or do whatever. But it just gives you a reasonable hairline all the way around the doll, that's ready to go, that really doesn't need very much fiddling with. Like, it's just fine. Like, you can cut it a little bit longer to make a different kind of hairline that if you want, but this is in its form right here, just ready to go, and I can knock up a whole bunch of them all at one time, so that hopefully I can just sit and make a bunch of wig caps that are just ready to go, that I don't have to worry about, so that I can just grab a wig cap and just make a wig if I want to, because otherwise I find that the time investment, like by the time I sit down and put and do the thing and blah blah and fuss with the rubber bands, that it's just like my want to actually make wigs is just not there. So I'm trying this approach, and hopefully that will yield some results. The other thing that I have done is used another Lomi's Playground pattern to make thigh-high stockings. I think this is just my initial pattern from her description on how to make them. But like, these are ridiculous, woman. Like, I think these are longer than my real legs. Not. I do have short legs, but not this short. But I mean, like, she's all legs. So many legs. Actually, only 2 legs, but lots of legs. But yeah, so that is all the way up to her thigh joint. I'll probably end up making a whole bunch of knee highs because I like the look, and she'll probably be wearing skirts, and I don't need them all the way up to her thighs. But that is, like, once you have the one pattern, you can cut it however long that you need. But yeah, so I've been working on some other secret projects that are related to the head that's coming in, so I cannot show those off for now. But, like I said, that's coming soon, and fingers crossed that everything goes well with that. I've been obsessively clicking and checking and hitting that refresh button. Has it moved in the 3 days since it got posted? No, it hasn't. But I know, like, once it actually gets moving, it won't take very long. Was there anything else? So one of the other things that I wanted to do before I go is to pop my tag cherry with Lady T's home, BJD Home Tag. And I didn't feel like it merited a whole video because I'm new, I don't have very many dolls, and I don't have an elaborate space for them yet. It literally is just a shelf with the long sole box sitting on top because I don't have anywhere else to put it, and then the dolls just hang out there. So, I could put that in here so you can see. And this is where my BJDs hang out. Actually, I lie. Most of the time they are like naked in crazy flaily positions, like on their back with their legs all tucked up, sort of like dead bugs scattered all around the room. But like, if I need to put them somewhere, this is where they end up. So it is, I didn't realize how crooked the box was. It is on the corner next to where my computer is. So when I'm sitting in my chair, I can see them really, really well. Oops. I can see them really, really well. But yes, I've got Anthem. So Anthem had a photo shoot recently where she is in this silly wig and not her eyes. You can see my Blythe's back there just kind of peeking out. And yeah, I had some props out because I had been doing a photo shoot, like I had said, with Ydaris, and I liked it so much that I kind of kept it there. Because there needed to be a little extra something there. And yeah, so Anthassian has somewhere to rest his feet. I do really like his new outfit, so, but yeah, that was, for me, the BJD Home Tag. Yeah, it's impressive, isn't it? But it brings me a lot of joy to be able to see them whenever I walk into my craft room. And I think that is it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.